Well, hello there, my friend. Jonathan Doyle with you. Thanks so much for joining me on the Catholic Teacher Daily Message. Please make sure you've subscribed and take a moment to check out all the links below. I want to share a little story with you. About 2 weeks ago, I had the pleasure of speaking to about 250 young men at a Catholic boys' high school. It was a great privilege. These guys had been, experiencing the challenges of lockdown over the last few years, and it was the first time they'd had a retreat in a really long time. So it was a great privilege to be there and to speak with them about a whole bunch of different topics. I shaped the day along the lines of sort of the three great questions of philosophy. Who am I? What am I? That's like Christian philosophical anthropology. Where am I going? It's the second question. Where am I going in life? And the third question is, who will go with me? What sort of community, my relationship with God? So there were the three parameters that I put in place for the day. But I want to tell you something really interesting that happened at the very end of the day. So, as often happens, a young man came up to speak to me to ask a question. I get a lot of questions at the end of the day. It's a great joy to answer some of those questions. But the question was, look, Jonathan, this young man said to me, how do you know that Christianity is the truth? Now, as a Catholic teacher, you have probably encountered that question in one form or another over time. What do you do? It's a loaded question, isn't it? So I answered quickly. I began shaping a few different parameters, but then I suddenly remembered the key answer to that question, which was simply this. It's a single word: resurrection. The proof of Christianity is in the resurrection. Now, below here, you'll find a podcast version where I go into more depth on this. But what I want to share with you in the short video today is a great insight from C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis said, Christianity, if true, is of ultimate importance. If false, it's of no importance. The one thing it cannot be is of moderate importance. Don't you love that? If the claims of Christianity are true, they're of absolutely seismic importance in our lives. Why? Because Christianity explains where we come from, it explains our experience on this planet, and it explains our eternal destiny. If it's false, then it's a whole bunch of lies. What it can't be is a bit of both. So I started explaining to this young man the key issue is the resurrection. You see, if the resurrection isn't what it purports to be, then the whole of Christianity falls over. It has to. The entire premise of Christianity, the incarnation, the enfleshment of Christ, his earthly ministry is obviously so incredibly important. His death is incredibly important, but what trumps it all is the resurrection. Reopening the door to the Father's house, opening the path back for all of us. So often if I'm speaking to young people, I talk a lot about the resurrection. This idea that somehow the apostles stole the body and they paid off the Roman guards. All I ever say to students is ask yourself this question: what was the upside? If the apostles had stolen the body of Christ, what was the benefit to them, right? To keep this cult going. They lost possessions, they lost wealth, they lost social standing, they were often tortured, and most of them lost their lives. And the only way that could be explained is if these men and women encountered something. I'm actually recording this around Pentecost, when the church was born and the Spirit breathed into the lives of these men and women. So take courage, my friend. As a Catholic educator, you are a witness to the resurrection. The reason you are in a Catholic school, the reason a Catholic school even exists, is because of the resurrection. Because Christ conquered death and rose again, and that changes the entire arc of cosmic history. So this is a long answer to the short question: how do I know Christianity is true? The resurrection. All right, make sure you've subscribed. I hope that's useful to you. Check out the links if you'd like me to come and if you'd like to book me to come and speak live. My name is Jonathan Doyle. This is the Catholic Teacher Daily Message. I'm going to have another one for you tomorrow.